I don't think there's many more things that this watch gives me that the Apple Watch mainline series doesn't do. I'm rocking an Apple Watch Ultra 2. I just want to talk about if it's worth it or not, because I go back and forth with Apple Watches in general. There's been times where, I really care about like the steps that I'm getting, or I get really into the data that it provides. But I think a lot of people get misled by, the data that an Apple Watch or any fitness wearable gives you. And Apple Watch Ultras are very expensive, right? So it's hard for me. I get a lot of questions as soon as I got this thing. I used to wear a Apple Watch Series 7 41 millimeter. So it's the smaller Apple Watch Series 7. And then this is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. I actually got it used on Facebook Marketplace. I'm pretty good at finding like used deals and making sure that things are real. That's the biggest thing I think people don't want to buy from Facebook Marketplace, is because they're worried they'll get scammed. It's pretty easy to not if you know a few things to look for, but I don't like buying most of my Apple products new because they severely go down in value as soon as you buy them, especially anything that's not a MacBook Air or the iPhone. So, an Apple Watch, you can usually find a decent deal, especially when they announce the Apple Watch Ultra 3. I'm like, okay, perfect. I can just get the Apple Watch Ultra 2 now, and that should be good enough for what I need. So let me tell you about the things that I really like about this watch. I've had it probably for like 4 or 5 months at least. I think I got it at the middle of fall. So I picked up running last year, as maybe you've seen in another video of mine. And the Apple Watch Series 7, my routine was typically to charge it daily. I wear my Apple Watch at night because it's my alarm clock in the morning. And then I would typically go on a run, if I was to go on a run or go to the gym in the morning, and I would wear that. And then when I got home and showered before going to work, that's when I would charge it. And the rapid charging would actually usually do a good job of getting it to about 75, 80%. The thing though is I also like wearing nice watches to work, and I don't always want to wear a fitness band because it is kind of tacky, and it's not very fashionable to wear a fitness product all the time. One of the things that I really like about the Apple Watch Ultra 2, biggest thing, is the battery life. I love the battery life. I think it's fantastic. The fact that I can get almost 2 days basically without trying of battery life, and probably could squeeze more if I had the display turned off at night or when my wrist is down. It also seems to just do a better job in general of staying, it's faster. The screen size is a pro and a con, but it is really sharp looking. It's got a really nice refresh rate. It's very durable. I'm excited when I start running again in the spring. I'm in Michigan, so it's really snowy right now and I don't want to run outside. When I start running again, I plan on using this bad boy a lot. And that I think is going to be where I'm going to get the most use out of this. But here's my thing, and here's why the video is called, Is the Apple Watch Ultra Worth It? I don't think there's many more things that this watch gives me that the Apple Watch mainline series doesn't do. If you're buying this brand new, $700 is a lot of money. Definitely, in my opinion, not worth it unless you're a diver or a marathon runner and you want a Garmin competitive. But then the argument could be made that a Garmin watch or something like that that's built for marathons and long distance and very specialized activities, I don't know enough to be able to tell you, is it worth it? But purely based off what normal people are using this for, walking around, taking phone calls, all that, I don't like always having my watch notifying me. I actually turn off all notifications for my Apple Watch except for phone calls if I have it on, because I don't like being distracted and constantly looking at my wrist when talking to people. But there are two things that I've considered going away from the Apple Watch, but there's really two things that keep me coming back that I probably will never be able to get away from an Apple Watch. One is waking up in the morning, using this as my alarm clock. It is invaluable to me. It has completely changed how my routine is. I used to struggle with waking up in the morning, and my Apple Watch has cured me of that. So I can't give that up. The other thing is I use the workout app Heavy, Hevy, to log all of my lifting sessions, and that syncs super well to the Apple Watch. So it's going to be hard to give up. For most people, you can get by with a normal series watch, especially if you're charging it daily. The newer ones are going to have a better battery life than the older ones, and you don't need the extra action button. There's not really any features. Like once the coolness factor of having a brand new thing wears off, it's basically the same device except bigger. And honestly, if you're listening to this video, which I know you're not, but who cares? What I would love to see is a smaller version of the Apple Watch Ultra. I like a lot of the features of it. I like the extra button. I like the hardiness of it. The battery life is the number one thing that makes me want to keep this. But if they made a smaller version of it, 41, 42 millimeter, with like the same feature set, maybe make it $100 less even, that would be a way better watch to me, because I don't like sometimes how bulky this thing is. And I wish it was just a bit smaller, because I don't like having giant watches on my wrist. Is an Apple Watch Ultra worth it? Probably not for most people, because you don't need all of the extra fitness stuff. Tracking your steps is super helpful. If you can find a good deal used, I would recommend doing that, because the thing with these is they're kind of the cutting edge ones. So I'll probably be able to sell this for not much of a loss, because I paid like, I think $400, $425 for it used. And in 2 years, maybe I'll sell it for $300, but I'm only going to lose $100. Whereas if I bought it for $700 and then sold it for $400, that's $300 I lost. So you do the math. If you find an Apple Watch Ultra 1, those still are doing quite well. I have plenty of people I know who bought them when they first came out, and they're still rocking them no problem. Most people are going to want to have the normal Apple Watch, or even the Apple Watch SE, because in my opinion, you don't need most of the cool Apple Watch features. They're all gimmicks. The things I care the most about is tracking my steps, probably receiving phone calls, but definitely waking me up in the morning. I don't care about the actual sleep data. It's kind of fun to look at, but I don't know how accurate it is. We sometimes go back and look at how many times we woke up with the kids the previous night on our Apple Watches. So yeah, Apple, if you're listening, make a smaller version of this one. Then I would probably change my opinion and say it's worth it, because I would find it to be worth it. Anyway, just my take, my random thoughts on my Apple Watch Ultra 2. You probably don't care, but I do, because I had things to say about it. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to just bop the like button if you so desire. Comment if there's things that you find that are essentials for the Apple Watch Ultra, or would you just prefer to get the SE or the regular one? Anyway, thanks so much for watching this YouTube video. If you're still sticking around, click this video. It'll probably be relevant. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.